Hi, welcome to my Facebook page, or if you're watching the replay, welcome to my Facebook page or YouTube. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas. And today, let's play with the sweet strawberry bundle. I'm losing all of my words. So this bundle is a stamp set. And here is the cute little stamp set. I love this set because it has happy birthday, thank you, hello there, that was sweet of you, just for you. It has so many different sentiments that you can use with it. And if you get the bundle and not just the set, it comes with this strawberry builder punch. So there's the strawberry, there's a flower, the stem for the strawberry, and the leaf. And these are post-it notes. So sometimes this post-it note, it's one of those that it's sticky all over. And evidently I've had it, oh, here we go. So sometimes I use these to mask an area, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a little bit. I don't always recommend using the punch for your mask because you might get some, well, I'll just show you. So when you mask, let me change my view. When you mask, the point of the mask is to not have the stamp over a certain area. So like on this one, I masked off the stem, and then when the post-it note was over the stem, then I stamped the strawberry part, or the strawberry parts. Okay, camera. There we go. But you can see that my mask was too big, and so it got ink, or it missed some ink spaces right here. So in order to not have that happen, what I like to do is stamp the image on a post-it, and then when I trim it out, here I'll just show you, I dropped it. So then whenever I trim it out, I trim a little inside the lines of the stamp. Come on, camera, there we go. I trim a little bit inside the lines of the stamp instead of around the outside of the lines, and that way you just get a better stamped image, not so many gaping places. So another reason why I like sweet strawberry stamp set is because it's photopolymer, and that's great for several reasons. The first reason is you can see through these stamps, which makes stamping with them a breeze and getting things lined up like super simple. So I didn't have to do anything fancy when I was doing this 2-step stamp. I guess it was actually like a 4-step stamp because there was 2 steps for the stem and 2 steps for the strawberry. But I didn't have to do anything fancy to get it all lined up because our blocks are clear. So you can see through the block and you can see through the stamp. So it makes it really easy to line things up and stamp inside of an image like this. The other reason why I think photopolymer is a great way to start is because all you need to clean your stamps is water. So a lot of times I'll just go to my sink and use water to clean these stamps. If I've got like just a lot of ink in between, like these little small spaces between the letters, I might use a soft bristle brush and really scrub in there carefully. You don't want to mess your stamp up, but scrubbing it lightly with a soft bristle brush, that's great. And then you can also get a chamois, and I've been using this chamois, golly, I don't know how long I've been using this chamois. Long time. You can tell it's got all kinds of stains on it, but they're just stains. I rinse it under the sink every couple of days because I use the sucker every single day. And I keep it in this standard stamp case, and it just keeps it wet. But I don't have to keep it in this. I can let it just dry up and then re-wet it every time I'm going to use it. But because I use it every day, I like to keep it in this and keep it moist, and then just rinse it out. as I need to. But this is great for cleaning these stamps. When you get the cling stamps, I really recommend, let me see if I have cling right beside me. Those are not, these are. So the cling are like the red rubber. And when you use these, I really recommend that you get our cleaning mist and our scrubbing tray for cleaning these stamps. It just conditions the rubber and makes it last longer and keeps it in better condition. And there's nothing wrong with using that for the photopolymer too. But the chamois just works fantastically on this. And this is $8. And like I said, I've had this one for at least a year, maybe 2. And I use it almost every single day of the week. It's super, super handy. So here is one of the cards that I made with this stamp set. And this is just thick white cardstock. And then a strawberry stamped 3 times with thank you underneath it. It's one layer. There's nothing fancy about this card, but I like the sweet simplicity of it. So if I was going to take advantage, if I was a brand new stamper, like I didn't have any supplies yet, and I saw this deal that Stampin' Up is having right now where you can join for only $75 and get $125 worth of stuff, I thought, oh my goodness, what would I get? And of course, the first thing I would get is a paper trimmer. But photopolymer stamps, that would be the second thing I was going to get. So let me show you some things that you can make, or some cards that you can make with this stamp set. Ooh, sorry about that. I know that was really loud. Let me turn my volume down. So, in your kit, you'll get a paper pumpkin kit. And in the paper pumpkin kit, you'll get a paper pumpkin block. And that's what this is. So you can see it's not, well, maybe you can see. It's about the size of one of our D blocks. But it's not as thick as our D block. And it doesn't have this comfy grip that our normal blocks have. But it's still a great block. There's plenty to grab onto here, and it is super clear. Of course, I don't use this one as much as I use my other ones, and these are a little scratched up. This one's not so bad. Okay, so then I would get thick basic white cardstock, and these are Stampin' Spots, and you can get an assortment of 8 Stampin' Spots. I don't have the assortment of 8. Not gonna lie, these just came in some of my paper pumpkin kits over the years. But these are 5 of the colors that you would get, or that you could get if you ordered the classic Stampin' Spot assortment. You would also get Real Red, Granny Apple Green, and Daffodil Delight. So what I would do is I would get that block, and I would get my strawberry, and I would put my strawberry here, and then I would bring the other one here. So I've got both strawberries on here, and I don't know, I think I'm gonna just do a flirty flamingo strawberry. I think that could be fun. But actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before I do that, I need to do the stem. So I'm going to put the outline up there, and then I'm going to put the shaded inside part right here. And I'm going to use shaded, no I'm not, I'm going to use Granny Apple Green. So like I said, I don't have a Stampin' Spot of the Granny Apple Green. But I do have the big pad, so I'm going to use it. So I'm going to just stamp that down, and I'm going to take this off because I don't want to get green ink anywhere else on my thing. So something else you'll get is a piece of cardboard in your paper pumpkin kit that comes in your starter kit. This is just a scrap piece of paper, so I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp the inside of that stem. And then I'm going to grab this Post-it cutout that I did, this mask, and I'm going to place it right over my stamped image, and you can still see the stamped image a little bit on either side, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and clean both of these. All you got to do is give it a little rub, maybe a little twist, and you can also just pick up your chamois and clean it that way. Okay, so now I'm going to put one strawberry on one side and one on the other side. That way I don't accidentally get ink anywhere. So I'm going to ink this up really well, and just to do that, I'm just holding the little Stampin' spot. And then I'm going to stamp over that masked off area. Then I'm going to ink it up again. And I'm going to stamp off again. I'm just centering that over, and you can see how easy it is to see through this block so that I can see where I'm stamping. And I don't know how I did that. You can kind of see the stem there. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and make it darker because that looks funny. Okay. And then, so I'll clean this off again. And I think I'm going to grab the basic gray. Now, yeah. And I'm going to use this thank you. I'll put it across the top. Just inking that up. And then I'll say thank you right underneath the strawberry. And then I have a really quick note card. Ooh. Didn't get my Y completely inked up. So now I'm going to just place that right over it. And I got my Y better, but not my U. There we go. But that was kind of a hot mess, wasn't it? So let me show you another one. Same card, but this time I'm going to use, clean off that thank you. Y'all, I've gotten a little spoiled. I have so many blocks. I don't have to normally clean my stuff in between every use. But it doesn't take long, as you can see. So I don't need this part because I'm going to stamp right on the Flirty Flamingo cardstock. So I'm just going to ink up my strawberry again with the Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to look and see when I put this in, which direction is my, let me get a different scrap of Flirty Flamingo. Something a little smaller. Here we go. So I can see that my cardstock is going to go in like this. So my stamp needs to face this way. Alright, so I'm going to slip this up in here and then punch out my strawberry. I'm going to Now that I have it placed and in position, it's just easier for me to turn this one over and stamp once I have everything lined up. Or not stamp, punch. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing with the stem. Doing the outline. I'm going to go ahead and put it, I guess, like this. And I'm going to look and see. Okay, so whenever I put my cardstock in, I'm going to put it in right here. And the stem is going to be facing this way. So I'm going to ink it up. And this is Granny Apple Green cardstock and Granny Apple Green ink. Then I'm going to use that punch again. I'm just going to punch out the stem. So both of these colors, the Granny Apple Green and the Flirty Flamingo, are from the Brights color collection. So you could order the Brights with the Brights cardstock with these inks as part of your kit and liquid glue. I'm just going to glue that stem to the top of the strawberry. And then I'm going to glue the strawberry to the center of the card front. Okay, and then I think I'm going to use Granny Apple Green this time. I'm going to clean off my little stamps. And then this time I'm going to say hello there. And I'm just going to stamp it right underneath. So you have, just with that layout, you have some options. And here's another one that I did. So if you didn't want the Brights, you could also get the Regals. This is Shaded Spruce and Real Red, and they're both also, these are inks that are also included in that classic Stampin' Spot assortment. But on this one, instead of using the matching ink, I used the Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad, which is definitely something that I would order right off the bat. So here's a happy birthday, hello there, and thank you. My stem is a little crooked on my thank you. I'm not sure what was happening. I'm a little nervous today for some reason. I haven't been this nervous on a live in a while. I'm not sure what's happening. And then there's this cute triple strawberry. This one might be my favorite. I love this card and I don't know why. I just really like how simple it is. Here's one that combines the stamping straight on the cardstock, but also with some punches. So this punch also does this tiny flower and the leaf. And then here is one more that's just a little bit more colorful. I used the stamp and the small flower for the background and just was very random with it. And then stamped in Granny Apple Green. This is Coastal Cabana. And then again, the Flirty Flamingo and the Granny Apple Green. So, a little bit of a different live today. I just really wanted to share what I would order in a starter kit. So the things that I used for this were the paper trimmer, the Memento ink, the chamois, the classic Stampin' Spots assortment, which I really wanted to mention that because until a couple of demonstrators were telling me about it last night, I didn't even realize that that was still available because it didn't make it to the catalog, but it is still available online. So when you go in to place your order online, it's there, which is awesome. So also basic envelopes, of course, to put these, the medium size envelopes or what these cards fit in. The Sweet Strawberry Bundle, either the Regals or the Bratz cardstock or something else. Thick basic white cardstock and liquid glue. That's what I would put on it. The fabulous thing about the starter kit is that you build your own. You don't have to do what anybody else tells you. I had a lady sign up recently and she basically just ordered inks and cardstock. So, but she's been stamping for a while. So you can do what you need to do, but it's for through the end of this month. So just for a few more days, the starter kit is only $75 in the US, and you get to choose up to $125 worth of product. You can't go over, but you can go right up to $125. I think this is $124 that I figured out. And you get a paper pumpkin kit, you get free shipping, you get to be part of the Stampin' Up community, which is amazing, full of super helpful demonstrators. And the home team in Salt Lake City is amazing. And you'll be a demonstrator. I think you would be an active demonstrator. You wouldn't have to spend a cent between now and April to stay active, which means you get to see the upcoming mini catalog and celebration, and I think maybe even the annual catalog. And you would get 20% off of any of your future orders as a demonstrator, which is amazing. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell you about that. I don't want anybody to miss this special while it's happening. And since there's just a few days left, it's just been on my mind a lot. So I wanted to make sure to share it with you. But in the meantime, of course, you don't have to. I don't expect anybody to sign up, except that this is a great deal and I don't want you to miss it. So I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that if you have any Stampin' Up questions, you will be sure to message me or leave me a comment so that I can help you out. And have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Happy stamping.